Welcome back to the channel. What a hectic 24 hours it's been in the NBA. There's lots of news to come. Damian Lillard was recently on a couple different podcasts, actually, and talked about staying in Portland, leaving Portland, teams he would join, teams he wouldn't join, and more on that. When asked about the Warriors, he had said that they already had 4 titles and he didn't want to join a team like that. He wanted to go to a team that might be a contender now, and this could be their first attempt. He then goes on to talk about how Kevin Durant joined and say that he wouldn't be the person to do the same thing that Durant did. He wouldn't be beaten by the Warriors, which he was several times in the playoffs during the Warriors' big run, and then just go join the team. He couldn't be a part of that. He said LeBron is the best player of their era, and he's the second greatest player of all time. So joining a team with LeBron would be a great chance for him to become a contender. Does this mean a Lakers move is in effect? Who knows? I don't think the Lakers have the cap space or the ability right now to make a trade like that happen, where they'd have to move far too many assets in order to make a deal like that done. They then asked Lillard about the 2020 bubble championship. Everybody calls it the Mickey Mouse bubble, being in Florida, of course. However, he said that it was a real championship. The tournament obviously is something different than we've ever done in the playoffs that they did that season alone. And the fact that the Lakers had made it that far was a little different. The playoffs had some weird outcomes with the Heat. Nobody saw that at the start of the season happening. However, they have been nearly a contender every year since, just making the finals last year and the conference finals the year before. He also makes a very good point that everybody had the same opportunity that was in the bubble at that point in time based on their regular season records to win a championship. So if it was so easy, why didn't another team do it? I guess it's just based on discrediting the Lakers championship compared to other ones with regular seasons being exactly the same and then the playoffs having the exact same format. But now we do have an in-season tournament coming up this season. We'll see if that makes it different as far as fatigue goes. I know the resting has changed now as well, which I talked about a few days ago. So will players be in as good of shape if they have to play more often? And will it make for better basketball that we're going to see our all-stars and superstars in the league perform at a higher level and more often? Lillard finished it off by talking about the Noah Lyles comment, saying that the NBA aren't world champions, the champion of what, just the United States. Giannis backed up that claim. He is a foreign player, so this is an interesting take. We've seen some foreign players agree with that stance, where they do play in Euro leagues mainly. Giannis did not. He played in a much smaller Greek league before coming to the NBA. However, Damian Lillard backs up what most NBA players had said, saying the NBA players are the best players in the world playing in the best league in the world. Obviously, when they talk about world champions, I think it was around the 80s that the NBA actually stopped calling it the World Championship, and it's just the NBA Championship, and they just kept the moniker on t-shirts just to keep things the way that they used to be. Calling them the World Championships isn't exactly right or wrong. They are the best league in the world, but they also just don't simply call themselves that. It's only to sell merchandise. That is simply it. LeBron was asked about why he didn't like the Boston Celtics. He has played them in several playoffs in the past, played them in the conference finals. I believe that was 2018. I may be wrong on that. That was the year that they had Kyrie Irving that he made it that far, or at least I believe it was. I think that was just after Isaiah Thomas had left. Obviously, Isaiah Thomas with that great MVP-like season with the Boston Celtics. Then they go and make the trade where Cleveland gave up a lot and switched up a lot of different things. Kyrie Irving going to the Boston Celtics from the Cleveland Cavaliers after they lose to the Warriors in the finals once again. Then you have Isaiah Thomas going to the Cleveland Cavaliers with Jay Crowder. They had Dwayne Wade there, Derrick Rose, Jordan Clarkson, Rodney Hood. A lot of weird pieces happening that season. I think they even picked up really old, out of shape Darren Williams, even though he was far past his prime or even playing stage at that point. But LeBron, all in all, even younger, had some great series against the Celtics in the playoffs. I remember a great series where he played the Celtics. They really dogged him. He struggled. And then he comes back a couple of years later with the Heat, and he's all over them. But when asked about why he didn't like the Celtics fans, he simply said that they are racist as, and you can fill in the blank. I don't want to say that word on here, but that is exactly what LeBron said, quote for quote. Victor Wembanyama also came out and said that he has intentions to join France in the 2024 Olympics. They really missed someone that has some size and mobility. A big issue was Rudy Gobert. He was able to play great defense as usual, but his lack of mobility and shooting really set a low ceiling for France. And they also ran some ball handling issues. I'm not saying Wemby would be able to take that load off necessarily right off the bat just after his rookie season. However, if they can get a guard to join now that Wemby has expressed some interest in joining, maybe that could help them next year. Maybe they can make a good run, and where it is in Paris, you never know. Kelly Oubre Jr. has also signed a one-year deal with the Philadelphia 76ers. Last season, he had his season cut short after putting up 20.3 points per game for the Charlotte Hornets. The 76ers did need some more wing depth after losing Georges Niang and Jalen McDaniels to the Toronto Raptors. So, big help there. Oubre can definitely get some buckets for them, probably off the bench, and let's see where that can go. Nick Nurse, the new coach of the Philadelphia 76ers, was asked what his plans were with the team and the starting lineup and just different schemes that he might have with the team. He came out and said that he wants Joel Embiid to just be able to play more games. He simply is trying to do whatever he can to work with him to keep him on the court. The big man obviously has had a lot of injury issues. Coming off an MVP season, he's going to be your star guy. He's the franchise guy, and you really want him to be the top player on the team, excel in the playoffs, and really give them a strong push. They haven't made it out of the second round since 2001 when Allen Iverson was there, and it's really about time where they finish one of the top in the league, not just the Eastern Conference, every single year, and they really need to make it at least that conference finals, if not the finals themselves. I want to thank you if you made it to this part of the video. Much more to come in the next few days. Lots of news catching up, and the season is just around the corner. So stay tuned for more. This was Court Chronicles, signing out.